Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about new books that are coming out in February. So the first one that I thought was interesting that's coming out on February 4th is actually a memoir, and this memoir is by Bill Gates, who I'm sure we all know. This is called Source Code: My Beginnings, and I personally don't really know much about Bill Gates' personal history, so I thought that it was really interesting. The summary here is saying source code is not about Microsoft or the Gates Foundation or the future of technology. It's the human, personal story of how Bill Gates became who he is today. It's the story of his principal grandmother and ambitious parents, his first deep friendships, and the sudden death of his best friend, of his struggles to fit in and his discovery of a world of coding and computers and the dawn of a new era. I thought that sounds super intriguing, and I'll definitely want to check that one out. And the next book we have here is A Girl Like Us by Sophia McLoughlin, and this is going to come out on February 11. And when I looked this up, the blurb that said Succession meets Saltburn, that's all I had to know about it. I'm already interested. So this story is about TV star and party girl Maya Miller, and she's marrying into a rich family, and then her husband's cousin is murdered and Maya is becoming the prime suspect. It sounds like it could be a fun time. And next up we have A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall, and this one I'm actually reading, so if by the time this goes up I have finished it, then I'll definitely put my star rating up here. And this is also coming out on February 4th, and similar to the book that we just talked about, this is also about a girl marrying into a powerful and rich family, and she has been getting threatening messages on her phone that tell her to stay away from her future husband. So she's then invited on this family getaway, and she's trying to figure out, first of all, who is sending these messages, and then also why are they sending it? Can she even trust her fiance? So I'm only about 50 pages in right now, and so far it's really great. It definitely has that like winter cold atmospheric vibe going on, which I think is perfect to read right now. And then the next book I found is You Are Fatally Invited by Ande, Pliego. I hope I'm saying that right. This will be released on February 11, and the little blurb here is saying an exclusive thriller writer's retreat hosted on a private island turns lethal when one of the authors is found murdered. And this is one of my favorite settings. It's on a remote island. People can't get out. I really like that. You know, it does sound like one of these stories that you've read about before, but I'm ready to check it out. And then the next book is Close Your Eyes and Count to 10, and this is going to be released on the 25th. And I feel like we're onto a theme here because this is also about an island. And it says here, charismatic daredevil and extreme adventurer maverick Dylan invites you to the ultimate game of hide and seek. But as the players gather on Falco Island, the event quickly spirals into a chilling test of survival. The storm rages as a deadly threat stalks the contestants, turning the challenge into something far more sinister than the social media stunt it was intended to be. So once again, one of my favorite tropes, remote island. And I've heard about this author before. I haven't read one of her books, which was The Couple in 5B or something like that. I heard good things about that, so I think this is worth checking out. And then we have Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister, and this is coming out on the 25th. And I've read Wrong Place, Wrong Time by this author before, and I really like that. So I'm excited to read this one. And this is saying, it is June 21st, the longest day of the year, and the life of new mother Camilla is about to change forever. After months of maternity leave, she will drop off her infant daughter at daycare for the first time and return to her job as literary agent. Finally. But when she wakes, her husband Luke isn't there, and in his place is a cryptic note. Then it starts. Breaking news. A hostage situation is developing in London. The police tell her Luke is involved, but he isn't a hostage. Her husband, doting father, eternal optimist, is the gunman. That sounds extremely interesting, and it's probably gonna be some of these stories where you're trying to figure out, can I trust this person? Can I not trust this person? How is she involved maybe? So I think this is gonna be worth a read. And then next up we have a cozy mystery. And when I saw this cover and title, I was immediately drawn in. It's called The Crime Brûlée Bake Off, and it's saying when Claire Walker is selected to be a contestant on the immensely popular cooking show Britain's Battle of the Bakers, she is thrilled. She can't wait to spend 8 enchanting weeks baking at the picturesque estate of Lapworth Park. She can almost smell the fresh pastries wafting through the air as she and her fellow contestants use historical equipments to bring pre-1900s recipes to life. If she can win the 50,000 pounds, she'll be able to ditch her teaching job and launch her baking career. And this also sounds like there's going to be a little bit of a romance in here as well, because it's talking about the custodian of that park is an eligible bachelor, and that a decidedly different kind of heat begins to simmer between Claire and Jonathan. So this sounds like it could be fun. I'm definitely adding this to my TBR. And then the next book we have is the Meadowbrook Murders, and this is coming out on the 4th as well. And this is a young adult thriller, and this is following Amy, whose best friend Sarah and her boyfriend are brutally murdered in their dorm room, and then Amy becomes the prime suspect because she was the only one there when they were murdered. And then it looks like there's another point of view, Liz, who's an editor of the school newspaper, and she is determined to uncover the truth. I think that sounds pretty interesting, and I'll definitely be checking that out. And then the last book I have here is the Dollhouse Academy, and this is written by the same author who wrote Una Out of Order, which I've heard a lot of good things about. I personally haven't read it yet, but everyone was raving about this, so I'm sure a lot of people are excited about this one. And here the summary reads, Ivy Gordon is living on borrowed time. For the past 18 years, she has been the most famous star at the Dollhouse Academy, the elite boarding school and talent incubator that every aspiring performer dreams of attending. But now at age 34, she's tired of pretending everything is fine. In secret diary entries, Ivy begins to reveal the truth of her life at the Dollhouse, strange medical exams, mysterious supplements, and something unspeakable that's left Ivy terrified and feeling like a prisoner. This sounds super intriguing, and it seems like this has some dark academia vibes, so I will definitely be checking that out. And this is coming out on February 11th. So these are all the books that are going to be released in February that I thought would be interesting. Let me know in the comments if any of these books interest you, or if maybe you found some other books that are coming out in February that we should be checking out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.